People have powerful feelings about the traffic in Los Angeles. It says something that local officials warned motorists about a temporary roadwork closure on the 405 last year by calling it Carmageddon. Angelenos took the hint, and this weekend they're expected to steer clear of the latest 405 closure, named, of course, Carmageddon 2. That's how it is in L.A., a snarl of overstuffed freeways and commuters who keep their cool, except when they don't. KPCC's Stephen Cuevas has this profile of a punk rocker whose music expresses the insanity of L.A. traffic while extolling the virtues of public transit.
Couple of things you need to know about Eddie Solis. He lives in L.A., loves the band Kiss, and does not own a car.
Being someone who's from L.A., born and raised, and, having a few cars in my past, I saw the city much differently, through a different perspective, through the eyes of a bus rider.
Want to just all the way to the back? Sure.
Line 18, Wilshire, Western Station.
Just steps from the front door of his home, across the street from a tortilla factory in LA's Boyle Heights neighborhood, Solis catches a bus that connects him with the city's subway and the commuter train he catches to his day job at an indie record label in Hollywood.
It just opened me up to little neighborhoods, galleries, clubs, bars, just everything. Just seeing what's out there, little pockets of the city.
Solis's journeys aboard LA buses and subway cars informs a lot of the material on The New Los Angeles Part 1, Through the Eyes of a Bus Rider, the latest release by the singer-guitarist band It's Casual. In Solis's vision of a new Los Angeles, people abandon their cars, climb aboard public transit, and rediscover their communities. One song extols the virtues of the LA County Metropolitan Transit Agency's Easy Pass and the urban underbelly it introduces to the rider.
And that's a nod and homage to, the people who know what you could even go cheaper and really beat the system and really steer away from spending money on gas and oil profits and all that. Is all it takes for me to witness racial tension, for me to witness illegal aliens. It's not to paint a negative picture, it's just my perspective of what is seen. Easy pass.
I got a funny backstory.
Off the bus and back on the street, we make our way past a jazz saxophonist playing for pocket change and down a long escalator to catch a train.
So, where are we now?
We're at the Red Line station, the Pershing Square station in downtown LA.
And what's our destination?
We're going to go downstairs another tier, and about 5 minutes we're going to get on the Red Line going northbound.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's go.
The Metro Red Line snakes from North Hollywood to downtown Los Angeles. It's the train that inspired It's Casual's signature tune and spawned a viral internet video. It was partly filmed late at night on a moving train as it hurtles from station to station. Solis thrashes away on his guitar and barks the lyrics, which celebrate the Red Line and call out the congested freeways that coil around Los Angeles.
Este es un tren del Metro Red Line a North Hollywood.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice.
The thread that comes out of the record that ties everyone together is just be alive. Don't be a victim of having a car.
An MTA spokesman said he couldn't comment on Eddie Solis's furious pro-Metro message, but the Red Line video was a hit at the offices of Move LA.
Eddie's done a good job. Thank you, Eddie.
It's the public transportation advocacy group headed by former Santa Monica Mayor Denny Zane. He liked the juxtaposition of Solis blissfully riding LA public transit in one scene with scenes of the band raging against those notorious freeway jams.
Eddie is all frantic when he talks about highways and so mellow when he's grooving on a skateboard and on the bus and on the Red Line. There's a metaphor for the transformation, from the, oh my God, I just got to get out of the traffic, to, hey, hey, this is cool. I can mellow out.
Or you can blast the tune like Too Many People as you claw your way across Los Angeles by car, bus, or skateboard.
Los Angeles! There's too many people! I want them to go away! Even though it means they're afraid!
Too Many People could also be a motto for It's Casual. Over the years, the band whittled itself down to a power duo of Solis and a rotating cast of drummers. So you may think the burly, bearded punk rocker just can't get along with freeways, with people, or his native L.A. Not true.
I love it. I love everything about it. I've traveled throughout the U.S. many times, and I could never look forward enough to coming back. The weather, the different cultures, the landscape. I was just like, you know what? Now I know everyone moves to L.A.
Solis will bring the love and the volume during a Red Line mini tour next month. It's Casual will play a different venue within walking distance of several Red Line metro stops from Union Station to West Hollywood. For the California Report, I'm Stephen Cuevas.
That's the California Report, a production of KQED Public Radio in San Francisco. Our director this week is Nina Thorson. Seal Muller is our technical producer. We had additional engineering from Danny Bringer and Howard Gelman. Thanks to Hank Hadley at KCBX. Our online team includes Lisa Pickoff-White, David Marks, and Don Clyde. Our interns are Catherine Borgeson and Rachel Johnson. Tyke Hendricks is our elections editor with production help from Tina Lauerberg. We had editing support from Paul Rogers. Victoria Malione is our associate senior producer. Ingrid Becker is our senior producer. The news director is Bruce Kuhn. I'm Rachel Myro. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. This is the California Report.
Funds for the California Report are provided by the James Irvine Foundation, expanding opportunity for the people of California and supporting the California Report since its premiere in 1995. And the California Endowment. Health happens in schools at calendow.org. And Chevron, investing in renewables, strengthening communities, and creating jobs. More information at chevron.com.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red line, 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 the red line. The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The 605, the 101, the 101, the 101, the I-10, the 210, the 605, the 101, the 405, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red line, 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 the red line.
Welcome to the 91st episode of Los Angeles Nista. I am the creator, producer, and host, Edward Solis. Another monumental episode tonight. We got Chris Lisk and professional skateboarder Fabrizio Santos. We're going to take a music break and come back with our in-studio guests. Thank you very much.
yourself.
Hey, welcome back to the 91st episode of Los Angeles Nista. I'm Edward Solis. In studio guest Fabrizio Santos. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here and you're very happy, and I feel your positive vibes coming all the way over here. You know, you've been a professional skateboarder for how long now?
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
I was watching a lot of your Instagram video today and a bunch of other stuff on YouTube. Skating a lot of street, but you also have a half pipe.
Yeah, at the house, like in my house in Lake Elsinore. It's pretty fun.
Right. You get creative with your lip tricks. I saw that you had an old school desk, a metal school desk, and I was like, man, he's not just gonna make contact with the coping, but he's gonna have to ollie off the coping and commit to a trick on that desk that is not designed to hold up. and you made it work. Nose picks.
Yeah, nose pick and tail drop.
Love it.
Stall, just for the fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I can tell you're having fun.
It's a bit more than just a half pipe. Like a park.
Well, there's a nice color scheme happening. All the colors. Who came up with that?
Oh, my mind. They put it.
You created the vision, right?
Describe it to everybody that's listening so they know what you're talking about. It's like this wooden park in this huge backyard. And every panel of wood's a different color. And there's a treehouse with a window. So his little girls sit in the treehouse and they can see him all, like up the side. It's pretty epic. And he's got he built his own crane. So you can roll a crane all the way around the whole thing and film everything. It's amazing.
Man, when you want something, you got to do it.
You want something, then do it yourself. Right?
This is all Lake Elsinore?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta go.
Have you ever been to Jejong's dairy farm in Lake Elsinore?
I've been to Santa's Village.
It's right. You know where they do the skydiving?
Santa's Village?
Yes.
Okay, right across the street from where they do the skydiving, there's a little dairy farm. They have the world's greatest chocolate milk.
Yes, I'm about to say that.
Absolutely incredible. I go by. My sister lives out there, and I go out there once or twice a year.
Is it like old school, like in a clear gallon?
No. It's like plastic, but it's just it's got the hand stamp for the date.
Dude, you love it.
Really quick, so everybody knows, that's Chris Lisk talking from Quipo.org.
Hi, how's it going?
And we also have a surprise guest in the house, Rusco. Chris Mercer. Say hi.
Fresh off a 2-month tour. I caught you at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Sold out.
Last week. Yeah, we turned 2,000 people away that night.
I was in line. Man.
Insane.
Yeah.
Why are you such a dick? Let him in.
I like how everyone just designs their own dance to your set.
Oh, man. That's the best thing to watch.
Exactly. It's like every area code. There's a 213 dance. There's a 949. There's a 310.
Oh, man.
There's a 951.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Where's 951?
That's a new IE, Inland Empire, Riverside. Used to be 909, right?
Yeah, 909.
I've been here for like 5 years. I thought I learned all of the California area codes.
714.
We're going to take the California area code
There
quiz.
you go. I'm trying.
There you go.
Ooh, that would be a great quiz. Different area codes: 323,
213,
213.
It sounds like a rap song.
858. Well, now I want to know about your favorite LA skate spots. Like, are there you have any sections in downtown? Like, are there any like steps and rails or banks?
Like Hollywood High.
Yeah? Is that classic for you?
Yeah, that one's like epic,
Steps and handrails. I know there's a lot of planners too, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's more like rails and stairs over there.
Yeah, I think what's awesome is like if you took the number 2 bus from downtown for $1.50, you could get to Hollywood High for $1.50. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
you took the bus here tonight.
I did. Kept it real.
Huh?
Yeah,
I hate cars.
There we go.
I hate cars. I don't have to say I'm going to pay $15 or $12. I just skip out in front of my front door, wait for the bus, take pictures, and just skip on into the building.
Pretty cool.
I could drink 20 beers and not drink and drive.
The rules.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't drink and drive, kids.
Don't drink and bone.
So what now, have you ever skated Haters Alley in Lakewood?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
What about what's the epic school Cantor Canyon in Brentwood?
Cantor Canyon.
That's I think that was like a lot of Santa Cruz videos. Huge banks in a schoolyard. Now, before the internet, I would watch all the Santa Cruz, speed wheels videos with like Eric Dressen and Nodis. Those guys, like the Santa Venice guys.
The old school.
Yeah.
The pioneer.
Yeah, you would see like they would put it was funny because on video, the banks didn't look big, but they were like as high as the bar that's holding the curtain. They'd be like super long, and they put benches on. So when you slam up against it, you have to like wait to get to the very top. And, instead of just like getting up there, like you're like, okay, come on.
They got a school you can do that, like Lockwood. You can go they have like a little bank on it. They put the picnic tables on it and the bench and the skate.
That's awesome.
And have your fun for days.
Skate to create.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Word.
Now, what about like any other street spots by where you live? Like, I mean, I know you have your own setup, but I mean, like, where do you go to like hit the streets? Is there anywhere in Lake Elsinore or Riverside?
There's a lot in Temecula.
Temecula?
Yeah, Temecula.
A lot of secret warehouses with loading docks and steps.
I can't tell, but
you can't tell, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of places out there.
Yeah, do you have like names for all these places?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do.
That's awesome.
We name it like ourselves. Street talk.
Yeah. Do you think that when you're skating and there's a certain like gravitational pull, like the stars are aligned a certain way, like it affects the way you actually approach a trick? Because I truly think that humans react to like a full moon or a half moon or the stars align. No, I think it's like, like whatever the mood is in the universe in the sky, you actually kind of, it resonates with a human. So like, does your skating change during different seasons?
In the winter.
In the winter?
They get cold. I can't skate at all.
Can't skate at all.
It just stops.
But do you fingerboard with hot chocolate?
Sometimes.
Hey, I want to know what brands are doing good at the skate shop. What brands are selling well?
Huff sells nonstop. Huff.
Diamond.
Huff. Diamond.
Huff. Diamond clothing.
Huff can.
Huff.
Diamond clothing. And Thrasher clothes.
Huff has like 700 types of socks.
Really?
We cannot stop selling Huff socks. It's crazy.
Wow.
Penny boards.
Huff is killing it.
Penny boards.
Penny boards kill it.
You know why?
We
Because
sell stereo cruisers because they're cooler.
Because people buy those even if they don't want to skate to learn tricks. It's just transportation.
Yes.
It's like a used car.
One push and go.
Yeah. When did you start skateboarding? Like you said 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brazil.
In Brazil, like a small city, like in Brazil.
What was the first video you ever saw?
Oh man, was
do you remember?
Plan B, like the first Plan B.
I remember that.
Yeah, and
Sell Barbie.
Video. Yeah, man, and girl video.
Girl.
That, yeah, it's amazing.
Inspirational, right?
Yeah, it's still into today. You know,
pioneering.
Exactly.
When did you like fully commit to the sport? Like, what was there a pivotal moment?
Since I started,
like you fully committed to it. Like it was for you.
Since my first step on the board, like I like that's it.
You must have felt really committed when you moved here.
Yeah, no, that before
so that's
that.
kind of a commitment.
Yeah. When I moved here was like a. I mean, I don't care what's gonna happen.
Right?
Yes, what's gonna happen. Open. I just want to know what's going on out there. I just want to know what's out there. And then I opened the door. It's like, whoa.
Tell me about the terrain. The terrain in Brazil. Okay. Now it was all street. Right? Were there any ramps when you were growing up?
Yeah.
There was a lot of half pipes. Really? So you skate a lot of transition as well as street terrain.
Yes, exactly.
How about pools?
Pools, no,
not so much, right?
Not too much, but like vert ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I skated like for 1 year in the vert ramp.
Wow.
And I broke my hand, and I got stuck in the street and like let's keep it in the street. But now like I try to skate everything. Trainees.
To be well-rounded, all terrain, right? Everything. Even walls, right? Whatever you could do.
Yeah, this wall too. Can I skate in this wall?
What are your sponsors right now? Who do you ride for?
My sponsors like Diamond, Program, Skate Shop, Split, and I almost forgot. Positive. You gotta stay positive.
You gotta stay positive. Gotta keep it positive, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's something in this room that's keeping it positive.
Dude, your attitude is keeping it positive, buddy.
I can
that
feel
big
the
smile
vibe
on your face.
I can feel the vibe.
You know what? The last time I went to, I go to a lot of shows, a lot of live shows.
Yeah.
For a week. All genres.
Okay.
Seen a lot of live shows that fall into the, DJ / electronica music, etc.
Okay.
The last time I had a great time at a show in that genre is when I saw Prodigy's first show in America at the Mayan.
Wow. That's cool.
And the second time was at Rusco.
That's crazy.
You know why? Because everyone was just flipping the fuck out.
Like bugging out.
Bugging out. And that's what it's all about. It's like...
That's the name of the game, really.
I like your moves. I like your moves. You're so...
Just
punching the air, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, man, there's too many, especially in Europe. Where I am from, there's enough of those DJs who are too cool for school.
Kind of just,
nod, checking the cell phone, texting away.
4,000 people in front of you in the middle of Hollywood.
And you're texting your phone because you think it looks cool. It's stupid. It's absolutely
stupid. Go for it, right?
Oh, no, I mean, I've been to places like Japan to play, and the crowds there basically mimic whatever you do. Like, if I put my hands in the air, the crowd put their hands in the air. I can't instruct them to because there's a language barrier. So it was kind of like a Simon Says kind of thing during the show. And it was times like that where I was really...
Simon Says with Russ.
Yeah, it was like that, So it's times like that where I'm really glad that I kind of rock out and really get into it at the shows because it meant they were doing exactly the same, like literally exactly the same thing.
You come from a live music background.
Of course, yeah. So that's I come from a performing...
I had the rock.
Yeah, that's it. I come from the rock, punk, performing background, so I kind of take that attitude when I make the music and when I play the shows. It's kind of the same kind of in-your-face punk attitude. There's not much subtlety to my music. Pretty much just bang in your face, let's go. That kind of 3-chord, bash it together. I spend like an hour to 2 hours on a mix down of a track. Most producers I know are like super anal and spend weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm bash it out in a day, sounds wicked. If it sounds good, crowd jumping up and down. Brilliant,
That's great.
That's great. People get way too.
So yeah. So you take like the energy that a live band brings to a stage and put that into your show.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah.
As much as you can behind.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, from like, I guess 16 to 21, I spent playing in bands and stuff. Whether it was as a frontman vocalist, I played sax and I also played drums. So a bunch of different stuff, but all in the kind of punk rock realm. So yeah, I just kind of took the exact same spirit and kind of put it into that world, especially in dubstep, because back in the day it was a lot of moody guys with hoods up and smoky dark clubs in London smoking spliffs, like, you know. So I kind of had to bring a little bit more energy and craziness to it, and that brought the girls in, which made it more popular. And
more girls, that brings more guys, and it's
exactly, you know, and that's
a classic
domino effect.
It's the disco template, right?
Exactly. Same thing they have with disco. You're exactly right, but
True.
in a kind of grimy London setting.
That's rad.
How long was this last run you did? It was 8 weeks, right? Like 2 months.
Yeah, just over 8 weeks. Yeah.
We left October 4th.
Yeah, we left October 4th and we just got back last week.
And that was all U.S.?
All U.S. and Canada, yeah.
It was cold.
It was cold. It was great.
And Roscoe got a dog in Edmonton.
I did. I rescued a dog in Edmonton. Oh my God, he's absolutely fast asleep right now in my lap. Let me see.
Wiley.
I'm sorry, Wiley.
Show him on the camera.
There he is for the webcam people.
Yeah.
My dog is asleep on my lap right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I rescued a puppy in Edmonton, Canada, and brought him back and gave him a home. Oh.
And he had one hell of a ride back.
He had one hell of a ride.
One hell of a ride
that was
back.
That was the end of like the after show parties for me. You know, I'd get off the stage, I'd have a shower, and instead of trying to find the club or the chicks or whatever, I'd be like, "Where's my puppy? I want to go see my dog." I just turned into a big softie. That was the end of the partying, and that's maybe the only reason I survived.
The dog.
I know. Last year I did a 6-week tour and ended up in hospital. I really did.
Add 2 more weeks and you're saving animals.
Right, I know. So this guy kind of saved my life.
Well, speaking of wild and crazy stories and wild and crazy guys, Chris Lisk is here. And he works with Quibo.org and is a living legend. Chris, what do you do? And tell us about Quibo. Tell us about yourself. What do you do? What do they do?
Is this the educational part of the program?
Would you please articulate your attachment
to Quibo? Let's discuss saving the rainforest, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, shall we?
Fighting deforestation.
Yes. Fighting deforestation in Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For my friend over here. So I work for a company called Quipo, CUIPO.org.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we create products that save the rainforest.
Boom.
How we do that is we take everyday T-shirt, hat, socks, anything in this room you sell, and whoever buys it, we attach a code to it. That code saves a specific square meter of rainforest that we've already preserved in Panama and Brazil.
Wow.
So right now you can go on our website, you can buy watch, reusable water bottle, hats, socks, T-shirts, anything, and tons of different designs.
Skateboards. I've seen skateboards.
Skateboards. We've got skateboards, surfboards. We're trying to expand into as many products as possible because the goal is to try to let everybody know is you can purchase anything and attach a square meter to it through Quipo and save a square meter of rainforest.
That's amazing.
So we're just trying to save as much land and as much rainforest as humanly possible so that the rest of us can breathe in 50 years.
Well done.
Man.
That's the simple, dumbed down, easy version of it. There's a lot more to it, but that's a basic version.
Amongst that, some of your other accomplishments, you're the founder of Liskfest.
Dude, Liskfest is huge.
Liskfest was awesome.
Oh,
it was
man.
a really,
What is
really cool.
Liskfest? Tell me.
Liskfest was a festival Chris threw. Like, tell us about it. With the lineup was just bonkers.
Growing up in, hardcore punk rock kind of metal community or whatever, for years I had this dream. Like, for the early 2000s, late 90s, there was never really a music event or music festival that had the group of bands that I was a part of. Group of bands that, it was... In the early days, it was really hard to get kind of like hardcore metal bands onto Warped Tour. Bands like Bleeding Through, Throwdown, bands like that who were heavier. They weren't full metal bands. They weren't, your typical old school hardcore bands.
Not like that.
It was hard for them to get on Warped Tour. And then if you weren't full blown metal, it was impossible for you to get on Ozfest.
Right.
And those were the only two tours that were kind of going around for those bands. So for years, I would talk to all these bands, Atreyu, Death by Stereo, Ignite, all these bands that I knew from the area, from Orange County, from Southern California. And I always had this dream of let's do this festival. Let's do this festival. And me being completely clueless about the music business side of things, I was just, in my head, it was just like, okay, here's a big park. here's a date, everybody show up and let's play.
That's everybody's dream, I'm sure everybody's had that conversation with their friends. If I was putting on my own festival, I would put these people on,
Exactly.
It's everybody's dream. I'm sure everybody's had that. That's why I was like, no way you did it.
Dude, Vandals strung out.
It was very much like Wayne Stock. Where it's just, if you build it, they will come, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing, though.
So, and initially it was called West Fest, because I was like, oh, we're on the West Coast, we'll do a festival, West Fest. It was very easy. Well, after about 6 years of talking about it, it became folklore. So it was like Howard Jones from Kill Switch, I think, was the first person to say, no, it's not called West Fest. It's called Lisk Fest because it became a joke. It was like
if it's gonna happen, it's called you.
Exactly. So that started going around, and every band I'd go to Death by Stereo. I'd be like, oh, you guys got to play West Fest, and they'd be like, oh, Lisk Fest? Yeah, we heard. So it kept happening, and then finally, I started talking to people about it, like real promoters, Golden Voice, Live Nation, and they were like, okay, this can really happen. We can do this. We can help you do this. We can fund it. We can promote it, all this stuff. So I started going to the bands, and I started telling them, like, hey, you ready? You going to play? Like, let's do it. And, Atreyu and a couple bands, they were just like, we will not play unless it's called Lisk Fest. And I was like, I look like a total asshole if I put my own name on my festival. But it's really easy for me to be an asshole and not care at all. So I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Okay, fine. It's called Lisk Fest. Let's do it. So the comedy of it built it up.
Wow.
And people were just like, oh, there's no way this is going to happen. So yeah, sign us on. So being friends with the bands, and then, being friends with the managers, and then the agents, like kind of corralling all of them. It was all sort of a comedic, like, oh yeah, we'll do it. Whatever. Yeah. Sign us up. We'll see. This is never going to happen kind of joke. And then when it did happen, everybody was like, holy shit, what the hell just happened?
It was fucking went off. And it was great.
It was really good. There was a couple random hiccups in the road, it was because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was dealing with real people who this is their lives and, what they deal with every day. And they were just like, look, if you don't have, insurance, if you don't have these things, we can't do this. And I look like a total fool, and I'm just like, oh, fuck it, let's go, And so, we did it. We squeaked by. We pulled it off. So far, I haven't been sued. I did 2 of them in a row. and, I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but, we pulled barricades down. We did everything. And the way I run my life is I try not to have a big bank account or anything that anybody can get from me if they sue me. So it makes it easier to break stuff and just do stupid shit.
And you're a guy that could have been sued like a million times
every
for
week.
A million reasons.
Every single week.
Some of the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. This fucking guy, dude. In the desert with a Hyundai Excel we bought for $600 off of the Wyatt Earp impersonator from the
Tombstone, Arizona.
You bought it for $600?
Okay, and this guy was taking off jumps. He flipped it, broke both the doors off the car. It was fucking incredible. It shot up full of holes.
Okay, I'm with Mike V, right, and Ephraim and Dan, and I've been in Europe with Dan and Ephraim.
Blasco too.
Blasco was there.
Oh, you've been in Europe with him?
I've been to him with your and the first time I was there, they did it. They were on tour with Ignite. They did a show, and we started walking down the street. And Dan just picks up a bike and throws it through the windshield of a car. And he's like, oh. And I was like, what the fuck?
Just losing control, right?
Right? Yeah, just going for it. So I'm like, okay, I'm with Death by Stereo dudes. I'm with Mike V. I'm stepping it up, right?
Yes.
You can't sit in the back seat with these guys. You got to really come correct. So we're driving through Tombstone on the way to South by Southwest. This was like 2009, right?
Yeah.
2009.
Zoli, the singer from Ignite, was the driver.
He was our driver because it was his RV.
Yeah, I heard about this.
We had guns.
And Blasco was in the
oh, yeah,
the
he
vehicle,
was in the RV with
and
us.
you guys were setting people on fire.
Hey.
Yeah, we lit JP on fire and Chris on fire. That was great.
Hey, Blasco is the greatest rock star in the world because
For anybody that doesn't know, Blasco is
he
the
plays bass for Ozzy. He can be if he wants to be, like, he could be a dick. He could do anything he wants, fly first class, whatever. But he doesn't, because he's the best dude ever. He is like, fuck that. I'm not going to fly. I'll jump in the van with you guys because I know it's going to be a party and I want to be a part of it. And I was like, I love it. I'm like, you're the best guy ever, you know? So we're in Tombstone, Arizona. And the whole time I was like, I need to take this crew to Tombstone just to see what happens.
And document it.
Right? So we have photos, video, everything. And then I'm looking on Craigslist to try to buy a car because I was like, oh my God, this is in the middle of the desert. We could just buy a car and blow it up and nobody will care. So we're out in Tombstone, and the guy who I'm talking to about buying the car happens to be the Wyatt Earp impersonator on the streets of Tombstone. And I'm like, this can't get any better, right? So we go, and I'm like, we're going to have lunch together, and then we'll buy the car, we'll film it, we'll do everything, and then I'll go destroy the car. And the guy was like, whatever, man, let's do it. Yeah. So we hook up, we see the Tombstone show, we're hanging out, watching them shoot each other and stuff, and then we go by the car, and dudes start tagging it and spray painting it. And then we get in the car, and it was like, okay, who's going to be my passenger? And everybody's just like, fuck you. No way.
No one's gonna be your
Mike
passenger.
didn't want to do it. Nobody wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, well, I got to like try to trash the car a little bit before we start trying to blow it up and stuff.
Yeah.
So I start driving it around and doing stuff. And I barely remember that part, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But to this day, I mean, Ephraim and Mike and people were just like, you're nuts.
It's pitch black at night in the desert, and it's all like dunes, and we could hear the car, but we didn't know where it was going to come from. And all of a sudden, you see the headlights go, and you're like, ah! And everybody just running, boom! Like, it was so fucking insane.
That's
the
awesome.
doors are flying open, back up, hit them on shit.
You know,
dude, we fucking
broken windshields, we flipped it over, and we were shooting it.
Mike V put on your motorcycle helmet, and then he kept running into the back windshield, remember? And
He was doing flips.
Yeah,
he was doing flips into the windshields.
Until he broke through the windshields.
That's a great story.
Wow. It was amazing.
But I want to talk about a more local story.
You know that.
Yeah, a more local story.
Hey, what's up, dude?
I want to talk about a more local story. That story takes place at the Gibson Amphitheater in Universal.
Oh, yes.
And Chris was with Fletcher.
Yes.
And you guys were watching AFI, right? It was AFI.
It was Acoustic Christmas.
Right.
And I don't even remember what bands were playing, but we were at the show, and it was coming to the end of the night, and we ended up going to we were walking out. So Acoustic Christmas always happens at the Gibson Amphitheater, and when you walk out the back of Gibson Amphitheater through like the K-Rock section or whatever, all of the cars, there's a bunch of Universal Studios backlot cars, like the Batmobile's there. There's, I'm trying to think of what other cars are there, but there's a bunch of...
The Blues Brothers.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers car.
Marx Brother, all that stuff.
So there's a ton of cars back there.
That's all you got to say.
And then next to the cars, there's trams. There's Universal Studios, like backlot trams.
Yeah.
And so there's a group of us, and Fletcher was like, oh, we got to grab a tram. And I was like, oh, hell yes, I'm on this ride for sure. And the friends, his buddy Ken and a couple other people, whoever were with us, were like, they've lived through enough Fletcher stories where they were just like, no fucking way, we're out of here. So they just bail.
Because they don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, they don't want to be a part of it. They're just like, nope, see ya. And they just keep walking. And I'm laughing. And I'm like, well, I'm going with him.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So we jump in one of the backlot trams, and we start driving through Universal Studios, like along the ride where you're in the tram, and you're just like, oh, there's Jaws, there's the tunnel that spins and all this shit.
Psycho House.
And then, totally, Psycho House, War of the Worlds, like all that stuff, right? So we start driving through, and we're going down, and then all of a sudden there's like a van behind us with a siren on, and we're just like, oh shit. And Fletcher just stops the tram and gets out, and he's wasted, and he's just like, he goes, oh hey, can you give us a ride back up to the top? Our van died. And you just have to take the back seat when Fletcher's doing crazy shit because he owns it. He is so good at talking his way out of stuff. It's absolutely incredible. So the guy's like, yeah, okay, I'll take you. And this dude is the crypt keeper. He's 90 years old, retired. Just his job is to patrol the back lot of Universal Studios
at night.
And if anybody's there, he calls on it, right? So we go and we get in this dude's car, and the whole time I'm sober guy. I don't drink. I'm straight edge, so I'm just like, you know, I know what's going on. And Fletcher just there goes my beer. It's all
I'm kidding.
So Fletcher like kind of knows what's going on, but it doesn't matter because he's just in Fletcher mode. So we then get in this crypt keeper's van, and he starts driving us up to the top. And Fletcher's like, oh, yeah, thanks. You know, driving us up to the top. This is going to be great. And the guy's like, yeah, sure. I'm going to drive you up to the top. I'm taking you somewhere else.
Oh, so he's 3 steps ahead of him.
So this guy's like, no, I'm taking you to the sheriff's, right? And Fletcher just goes, no, you don't. We're going 30 up the road, right? Past like the great outdoors set and all this stuff. And there's a road, and he's driving us up. We're going 30. Fletcher leans over and grabs the shifter and just throws it into park. And if you've ever thrown a car into park when you're driving, like, transmission drops out. It just completely, it's the worst thing you could do. The guy freaks out. He's like, what are you doing? And Fletcher turns the car off, grabs the keys, and just hucks him out the window. The guy,
late at night, back lot. There's no lights, and he's just like, let's go.
So we open the door and we get out, and I'm just like, this is fucking genius. The guy, the crypt keeper, just starts panicking, and he's like getting on the CBs. Help!
We got a situation.
Help! Emergency! I need help! Right? And I'm dying. That's great. Fletcher's grabbing me. He's like, we got to go this way. Now, I thanks to my good friend Neil, I've been sneaking into Universal Studios for a long time, so I know the lot really well. I know exactly where to go, how to get out of there, no problem. Like, this is where we go. But you're following Fletcher, so it's Fletcher's rules, right? So Fletcher grabs me, and it's wintertime, December, a couple years ago. It had just rained. There's mud everywhere. He grabs me and just pulls me face down in the mud, and we both drop in the mud, and he's like, don't move, somebody's coming. And I'm looking, and I'm just like, there's nobody coming. We need to run. We need to get out of here. It's like, no. And after about 2 minutes of just laying in the mud, he's just like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, what the fuck was that for? There was no reason for it. I think he just wanted to take a break. So he just dropped down in the mud.
What?
So I get up.
Totally. An evening mud drunk nap.
So I get up, and I'm looking, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the doorway that I need to get to, and I'm like, that's my spot. My car is in there. I know exactly where to go. And he's
Frankenstein parking?
Yeah, exactly. You know.
I know.
So I look at Fletcher, and I'm like, that's where we need to go. And he's like, no, we don't. We need to go this way. And he points like just into the darkness. And I'm like, no fucking way. I'm out of here later. So I jump, right? I take off. I know exactly where to go. Boom, I get in the car. After Acoustic Christmas, everybody goes back to the Hyatt, I think it is, off I forget
it's right there halfway
street.
Up the hill, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. It's whatever. It's Hollywood, something or other. And so I go back there, and everybody's like, where's Fletcher? And I was just like, I have no fucking idea. This is what just happened. And everybody's just laughing. The people that know him aren't surprised at all. They're just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Maybe he'll be in jail. Who knows? So about an hour later, he shows up, and he's just shaking his head, just going like, just giving me the no signal, like, you do not want to know what happens. So it turns out I zigged when he zagged. I went through to the car, got to the hotel safely. He got stuck in the War of the Worlds section. And the War of the Worlds section is just a busted up airplane with crap everywhere. Just it looks like a plane exploded, right? And he was trying to hide, and they surrounded him. Sheriffs surrounded him because that dude panicked, and they surrounded him, and they finally found him, and they're like, "You need to come out." So he comes out. He gets out, and he's just like, I'm lost. I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. You know? And the dude has a taser, and he pulls the taser out, and he's got it pointed at him. And he's like, you need to put your hands up, or we're going to drop you right now. And he's like thinking about it. He told me in his head, he was just like, I kind of think I could have taken him, but
like he was calculating in his head.
In his head, he's just like, oh, I could probably take the sheriff. So they grab him, they handcuff him, and they take him back to the sheriff's station, which is in Universal's lot. And he tells him, "My name's Fletcher. I play in a band called Pennywise, and I was just playing Acoustic Christmas and I got lost." So he totally, and he wasn't, but he just lied about that he was playing. But one of the sheriffs knew who Pennywise was, so they ended up believing him. So they let him go. He jumps in a cab and comes back to the hotel, and everything was clear, and nothing ever happened.
Good for him. So, good for him.
So yeah, good times.
Wow. Good times. Roscoe, public transportation in L.A. Now, I know the tube in London. Have you tried the Red Line subway here?
I have not.
All right.
I have not. I should do for a comparison, really.
Yeah, I want your synopsis of it.
The tube is okay. It's the worst thing about the tube is there's absolutely no air conditioning or ventilation because it was built like 150 years ago. There's no way of cooling or heating those underground tunnels.
Right.
So in the dead of winter, the tube itself is below freezing. You can see your breath. And in summer, you don't even want to know.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Ellie's, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I tell you, the first time I went to London, right, there's signs everywhere that say, like, look right or look both ways or things like that, right? And I'm seeing the signs. I'm just like, okay, enough already. Like, we get it. You look both ways when you step out into the street, right?
Yeah.
So then I get off the subway, walk out into the street. I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, this is London. This is awesome. This is cool. I step into the street looking left. The 2-story bus. I turn and look back.
Yeah.
There were 2 inches from my face, and the bus driver's just looking at me like, you motherfucker. And I was like, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, it comes the other way.
Yeah, right?
The signs are no joke. No joke, right? You got to pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
So L.A., we have a subway. L.A. is such a car culture.
Oh, for real, yeah.
And so it's like there's a Red Line subway that runs from downtown to Universal City.
Yeah.
Really?
And, and you can get, there like in 18 minutes. On a day when there's tons of traffic, it takes like an hour and 20 minutes, right?
Man.
So I want to get your point of view. I hope you ride it soon.
I'm going to do. I've taken the bus to the beach before.
Yeah?
I've done that a couple of times. I've been on the orange bus before. That's kind of cool.
It is fun,
But you're
right?
right. You're right. You can't get anywhere without a car here. Do you know I've actually never, ever driven in the UK? In all the years I lived there, I never had a license. Because I was in London, I'm in the middle of the city. There's nowhere to park your car. To drive into the city, you have to pay like £10, £11, I think.
A toll, right? A toll.
Yeah, every day just to drive into like the London city area. You get charged. They scan your number plate and you get charged like I think it's £12 now, which is almost $20 every single day if you want to drive in there. That's just like, it's crazy, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never really learned to drive until I got over here and obviously needed to drive in LA.
But there is infrastructure in place.
There is now.
There is now. I think
they were going to build another tram, but then they stopped it, right? For a while they were talking about building a bigger tram.
Well, there's a red line, a gold line, a blue line, and a green line.
Okay. I don't know. You're educating me right now. I have no idea.
That's right. That's why Los Angeles needs to exist. 91st episode.
Let the people
car
know.
Car free LA. That's what it is.
Car free LA.
Yeah. But I got a question for Fabrizio.
Great for skating, right?
I got a question for you. Skateboarding in London.
Skateboarding
Ever
in
do
London.
it? Europe?
I did it before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any
long
good
time
spots?
ago. It's amazing spots over there. Yeah.
Like legendary street spots
yes.
that are in videos?
Uh-huh. Yes, whole bunch.
Do you skate down by the river?
Yes.
That's really good down there.
Is
By
that
the
the
art
big-
gallery, there's the Tate Art Gallery, and all the way down by the river, it's really flat. There's lots of big ramps outside and interesting
They have ledges and
architecture.
stuff,
Yeah,
bands.
it's really good. Yeah.
I think we're going to turn this over to DJ F from Shoals.
Yeah.
From Death by Stereo. I think we're going to listen to some... what are we going to listen to?
Some Los Lobos.
Let's listen to some Los Lobos. Here we go.
There's a tattoo art with an arrow through the middle of a name that looks like Joe. A young girl's looking at the makeup in the mirror and puts a little gold ring on her toe. I gotta say 1, 2, 3 more things before I go on. There's a sharp-dressed man playing something on the fiddle in the backyard right next door. And everybody's mother's cooking something in the kitchen, got dishes stacked ceiling to floor. I gotta say 1, 2, 3 more things before I go on. You can't run, try to hide away. Here it comes another day. A red rooster crows a little Mexican tune on the chain link fence by the gate. Somebody's daddy's out there honking on the horn. Hurry up, we're gonna make him late. I gotta say 1, 2, 3 more things before I go on. You can't run, try to hide away. Here it comes another day. If you're alone down that highway, no matter where you are, you're never really far. Good morning, I slide. There's a big fat park with an arrow through the middle of this place that I call home. When I get lost, I don't even got a nickel. There's a piece of dirt I call my own. I gotta say 1, 2, 3 more things before I go on. You can't run, try to hide away. Here it comes another day. You can't run, try to hide away. Here it comes another day. Where you are, never really far away. Good morning, I smile.
Cigarette is one from these premises, but don't be afraid to smoke the high grade. Now it was written that I would to be another killer spitting. That I was born to beat the Buddha king, and you're my witness. We blow trees, better believe we taking care of business. Hit the kush, brains mush, taste so exquisite. I pay a visit within your subconscious thoughts and listen. You see a vision, collect your mind, time's up, you missed it. Medicate, don't hesitate, hold me twisted. But if you try to steal my sack, boy, we go ballistic. They call me doctor, the party rocker, the scientific. Warlock with the tiger's blood, a fucking mystic. Animalistic with the beautiful mind, self-admitted. Father the style, there's so many bitches counterfeited. 20 years grinding it out, blood, sweat, and tears. I was supposed to be the lost one, but had no fears. Hit the gas, taking lanes and switching gears. Whatever the path is, concentrate on what you hear.
Live amongst the clouds, only the Most High is above me. No one can keep me down. My roots are in the streets, and the streets will always love me. So no one can keep me down.
It was written, the dog's gonna go the distance. Off the leash, terrorizing the streets. Your style's bitten, so stop your counterfeiting. We the first ones that rap for that marijuana leaf. You're staring at your feet, while I'm staring at the feet. Riding inside the success or demise. I keep Cypress Avenue fresh on the mind. No, I made it out the ghetto one step at a time.
Live amongst the clouds, only the Most High is above me. No one can keep me down. My roots are in the streets, and the streets will always love me. So no one can keep me down.
Cross the line and let's hell the pain. Cypress Hill keeps it real, guess they failed the same. Big guns and bullets, we pull in a spray. Let's smoke a big ass joint and call it a day. That's how the dog roll, leaving haters John Doe. Violators get rolled and smoke like Ponto. Kush and Jack, yeah, that's a killer combo. Masked up sideshow, tripping as the room goes.
I live amongst the clouds, only the Most High is above me. No one can keep me down. My roots are in the streets, and the streets will always love me. So no one can keep me down. I live amongst the clouds, only the Most High is above me. No one can keep me down. My roots are in the streets, and the streets will always love me. So no one can keep me down. silêncio profundo e declarei: só não desonre o meu nome. Você que nem me ouve até o fim, justamente julga por prazer. Cuidado quando for falar de mim e não desonre o meu nome. Será que eu já posso enlouquecer ou devo apenas sorrir? Não sei mais o que eu tenho que fazer pra você admitir que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber. Perceba que não tem como saber. São só os seus palpites na sua mão. São mais do que o seu olho pode ver. Então não desonre o meu nome. Não importa se eu não sou o que você quer. Não é minha culpa a sua projeção. Aceito a apatia se vier, mas não desonre o meu nome. Será que eu já posso enlouquecer ou devo apenas sorrir? Não sei mais o que eu tenho que fazer pra você admitir que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber. Que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber que você me adora, que me acha foda. Não espere eu ir embora pra perceber.
Quit my job from a boss and a side, grab the gun. I'm gonna put up in my back, got my girl. She teenage is really special. I can't slow down, I gotta stay with the devil. 2 guns are still 100 miles an hour. No looking back, moving on, the power's possibility. Made me quit. Sick of this motherfucking goddamn shit. That's a road. You're like, I don't know. I just gotta run, just gotta go. No looking back, moving on the power. miles an hour. No looking back, even on the power responsibility. Made me quit. Sick of this motherfucking goddamn shit. There's a road I'm gonna last. I don't know. Just gotta run. Just gotta go. That's still 100 miles an hour. I've never sang a love song. I've never owned a car. I've never met a machine that would drive me this far. Not gonna listen to a word you say. Leave it in the mud, just to get away. Can't stop myself for another day. Leave it in the mud, just to get away. Not gonna listen to a word you say. Leave it in the mud, just to get away. Can't stop myself for another day. Leave it in the mud, just to get away.
Fleisch, Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Fleisch, mein Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Lecker Schmecker Fleisch. Ich liebe Fleisch. Aber trotzdem esse ich nur Pasta. Fleisch ist für alle da. Bratwurst, Blutwurst und Mortadella. Ein Fetzen Fleisch vom Hinterschinken, Geflügelfisch mit Salmonella. Lecker, lecker Fleisch. Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Fleisch. Mein Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Lecker Schmecker Fleisch. Ich liebe Fleisch. Aber trotzdem esse ich nur Pasta. Brokkoli, Blumenkohl, Schibab, Shishi und Chicorée. Grün, 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 Öko-Fritze. Ich brauch Buletten und Schweinskopfsülze. Fleisch, Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Fleisch, mein Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Lecker Schmecker Fleisch. Ich liebe Fleisch. Aber trotzdem esse ich nur Pasta. Fleisch, Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Lecker Schmecker Fleisch. Ich liebe Fleisch. Fleisch, mein Leibgericht ist Fleisch. Aber trotzdem esse ich nur Pasta.
And that was a track all about sausages by a German dub group called Jatari. Some wonderful 8-bit Atari reggae.
Thank you, Rusko. Very nice.
No problem. I thought I'd bring something kind of interesting.
I mean, German sausages, there's a lot, right?
German sausages, there's lots. They're all listed. They're mortadella and, yeah.
A lot of hybrids, interesting hybrids.
Yeah, bratwurst and currywurst and...
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good shit, man. It's really good shit.
And to write music about it.
Well, yeah, especially in an 8-bit reggae selector style. It's kind of unique, you know?
I love that.
I've never heard like 8-bit video game reggae.
Probably
especially
the most
not with
groundbreaking genre
German
ever
lyrics.
to
Yeah, of
emerge
course.
in
Yeah,
modern music.
no biggie. Just brought some German 8-bit sausage reggae.
Sausage reggae.
No biggie.
You should start making carne reggae, carnitas reggae.
Bro, it'd be amazing.
You know what we got to do? We got to go on a carnivore crawl.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah,
We're just talking about
great.
Screw the bar crawls. I'm gonna take
Our
everyone.
favorite taco truck.
We're just talking about that, and I'm like, hungry. You can't
Stop
bring
talking about food right now.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Let's get into really quick before I forget.
Yeah, what's up?
I want to institute something tonight for the first time, in the tradition of people like Art LeBeau, legendary DJs. We're gonna start doing shout outs because this girl just Instagrammed me and said, "Tell Rusko I said much love from Florida, Lauren Klausman."
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that's
hey, Lauren.
Nice.
Hey.
We're all going to give a shout out to Lauren Klausman right now.
Yeah, shout outs going right out. This tune's for you.
Boom.
I would like to shout out Steven's Steakhouse because
I love Steven's
Steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
Jen and I are going to go and have some delicious tiramisu after this.
Steven's Steakhouse off the 5 in Commerce, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, they have the best.
They're open till like 1 o'clock every night, right?
It's insane.
Steak and wine.
Yeah, every time we're coming back from LA, it's like midnight. And we're just like, it's open and the food is amazing. We're going.
Do you think there was like a dude who was born Steven's Steakhouse and was like, there's only one thing I can do in my life?
Steven's Steakhouse.
I'm having a big problem trying to figure out the name of my restaurant. All I can come up with is Steven's.
You know what? Lisk Steakhouse is in the making.
Yes, Lisk Steakhouse. I would eat there.
I'll do Lisk chicken sandwiches so I can take out Chick-fil-A.
Lisk
Take
chicken
them out,
and bits.
dude. I don't like those cow ads. Those cow ads. I don't like those cow ads.
Gay rights. I'm all for gay rights, so we need to get rid of Chick-fil-A.
I'm all for gay rights too.
I have another shout out for Rusko. He's a popular guy. My buddy.
Is it my mom? It could be my mom.
Nasir Masbodi from Dallas said, "Unreal. Stoked to hear you."
Wow.
Dallas, Texas.
We were there 2 weeks ago.
We were there 2 weeks ago.
Amazing show. Yeah, that was rad.
After the
that
show,
was really rad.
That weird guy from that club next door, he was a nice guy. Gave us that crazy bottle of champagne.
I do remember.
He was like closing. So you gotta come in our club. You gotta come in our club. You literally walked in there and just like, all right, we're in here. And then he puts out this fucking crazy expensive bottle
there was like
of champagne.
No music on or anything.
Big bottle of champagne, all expensive. And we just grab it. We're all thank you. And then we just walked right out.
Yeah.
Got on the bus. Boop. Yeah. Champagne.
All right. I got one for Fabrizio here. Okay, so when you learn tricks, when you put things together that you haven't done, do you have to visualize it before it materializes?
Yes.
You have to create the vision, right?
Yes.
And that's to me, that's like, like the power of visualization. Mm-hmm. You see it and then you make it happen.
Yes, and you bring it to reality.
Yeah, you take the necessary steps. So you do that daily?
Yes.
Much. Wow.
Every day I try to do that.
Did basically skateboarding is, it's not when you do it, it's not a team sport.
No.
So it must have been, since you've attached yourself to it early on in your life, it must have been like a good tool to keep yourself motivated without needing anything to motivate you. You just motivate from within, right?
Yeah, you're right. Dude, you're a skater, right? Yeah. See, you know what I feel.
Yeah, I skate.
You had told me one time that when you skated in Brazil, the decks were made from this wood that was so fucking heavy. And everywhere that you went to skate was so fucking gnarly and fucked up that when you came here, and it was just like everything's smooth.
Can you stop
and
cussing?
now you have this...
I'm just kidding.
and now you have this super light deck. It was just like kaboom.
It's like a dream come true.
It was like you were a step ahead of everyone when you got
here. You know what's fucking rad? Super fucking rad. is when I had Salman Aga in here.
Yeah.
And he said that's called, when you're through skateboarding, when you visualize it, you train yourself to visualize it and materialize. He calls it skater's advantage.
Wow.
That's pretty prolific, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that word.
Skater's advantage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because like before you do the trick, like you gotta visualize you.
Right, and then it materializes.
Yeah, and to get the trick, you gotta work for it.
Yeah, you gotta see like 10 moves ahead. You gotta see how far you're going. You should be like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
It's like a
in exactly the same way. I will not even go to the studio unless I have a solid idea of what I want to do, what sounds I want to use,
vision,
and everything.
Right?
Most producers that I know and that I've worked with and stuff will kind of go do a bit every day, like kind of just go and play around with some synths, play around with some sounds, and an idea will come out. I have to have like a solid idea at home of exactly what I want to do before I'll even go and turn the machine on. Yeah. I have to have a solid idea. And I don't know a lot of people that, in my world anyway, that work like that.
They kind of go as they go. Like, okay, today we're going to do 2 hours of this.
Yeah, they just kind of work a bit every day. I'll do like 2 weeks of nothing. And then I'll have a great idea and I'll go there and knock it out in a day because I know exactly what I want to do rather than just kind of doing a bit here, a bit, maybe something will work, maybe something won't work. It's kind of, there's not many tracks that go in the scrap heap, but then I don't spend that much time. If you know what I mean. It's kind of like, because it's already like half done in my head by the time I get there and put it.
You hear it also, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's like no time to do whatever.
Yeah, that's it. I have plenty of time to do shit like this. Yay.
Hey, Roscoe, how did you end up playing the horn, saxophone, right? You play sax.
Yeah. I played in I was actually playing drums and singing lead vocals in like a ska metal band.
Ska metal.
When I was around 18 or so. And
Public Storage days.
Oh, I know, totally. He doesn't know Public Storage.
I don't know. Who's Public Storage?
No, we're naming venues that would have those shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's way before the time I was here. But I was playing drums and singing lead vocals in like a kind of a ska metal band, which was kind of weird and fun. And my good friend was a drummer in another band, and that band broke up. So I decided I was just going to let him drum, go out to the front and do lead vocals properly.
Awesome.
And just randomly around that time, I decided I was going to pick up the horn. And then after that, I played in a reggae, like a straight up reggae band for a couple of years too. And that was, all saxophone. And that's how I actually came to make dubstep. It was kind of natural. I played in a reggae band, and at the same time was learning about computer music and stuff and producing, and I was recording like dub and reggae music, but with all real instruments. And I kind of picked up how to do the studio stuff through recording dub, and then early dubstep was kind of really reggae based, so it's kind of quite a natural progression, like from flipping ska punk to reggae to kind of dub.
Well, because that is very natural. Didn't we all start with ska metal?
Yeah, I know. It was. I would say ska punk, but we were like cover Metallica tracks with section and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Oh no, that's real.
Yeah, I've never heard it, but I am so interested. It's not even funny.
Crusty ska.
There's gonna be a crusty ska stage on the next Warped Tour.
Like Leftover Crack, the legend.
Dude,
of the genre.
There's gonna be a metal ska stage on the next Warped Tour. You just wait.
I can't wait for that.
Oh my God! There's a band from the UK called Beat the Red Light, and they play. That's like grindcore ska. That's like blast beats and horns.
Wow,
that's cool.
That's so
Beat the Red Light. They're really cool.
So your natural progression was learning the instruments,
then recording the instruments,
and then actually playing dubs, like DJing dubstep and making your own records.
Yeah. So it was
so you understand the intent. Which is
absolutely,
great.
yeah. And from I never really. I went to college for like 6 months or so before I kind of got kicked out, and then I worked as a sound engineer.
Why did you get kicked out?
I never went to class at all ever, and stayed at home, sold weed. Was it really?
Smart.
I was like, I kind of met. I went to college
for fools.
I did the first month, and I met everybody, and I got everybody's. I became well acquainted with everybody, and then. Just sold weed to them all and stayed at home making beats. It's really,
and now you're 2,500 walk-ups at the Palladium.
Yeah, insane. Yeah.
I feel so bad for those MI guys.
Yeah, 2,000 people didn't get in the Palladium.
Okay,
that was great.
Hold on, we need to discuss 3 things that were said.
Okay.
First of all, let's start with Coos Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay. Coos Cafe in Santa Ana.
Legend.
Okay, I feel really bad. Do you guys know any of the owners?
Wait.
Punk rock shows for us.
Coos Cafe, the owners, with Dennis?
I don't know who they are.
Louis.
But I feel really bad. Will you point them out next time you see them? Because I feel like I should buy them a dinner or give them money.
Because they did a lot for...
He's now the owner of the Oast Theater.
But when I was going to the shows, I was a total dick.
And you would just destroy shit?
I didn't break anything, but I knew that they weren't allowed to make you pay. It was like a volunteer donation, and I always took advantage of it every single show. And I was an idiot. I was an idiot kid who was just like, they're not allowed to charge me. But I never thought of it as
a support system.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
I was
here
just
7 days a week.
Yeah,
So
to
you
put
started
shows
playing
on.
in a band and learned about that
So
shit.
I was a dick. So I think I owe them. So there was a record store. I'm not going to say what it was, but I stole a record from them when I was a kid. But I went back years later and I didn't say anything, but I spent $275 at the record store to make up for it.
That's right.
Because I felt so bad. So my karma, I need to make up for what I did, how shitty I was to Coos. So I need to make up for it and find the Coos people and buy them dinner or something.
Yeah. A feast at Steven's Steakhouse.
Exactly.
That was really touching, Chris.
Tonight.
Way to get all sensitive, Liz.
I'm going to buy them tiramisu. I'm going to give them a square meter of rainforest and
steak and a bottle of red wine.
That's what I'm going to do. I don't even need to find them. I'm just going to buy 20 square meters of rainforest and I'm going to put it under Coos.
And restore your karma.
Yeah, and then I'm good.
That's awesome.
You're a very good person.
I try. Well, it's because of all the crap I did when I was a kid. I got to try to make up for it.
Let me bring this up really quick. I want to give you guys a first person's perspective, actual account of an incident that I was involved in by default with Chris Lisk. It was so fucking mind-blowing. I couldn't believe it. A bunch of us were all in Hollywood one night. We go to like a club and like
I have no idea where he's going with this, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Amazing.
We're like a club, and we're in Lisk's like cargo van. So everybody's in like lawn chairs in the back of the van, and he's just going forward like left and right, in and out. And we're like, woo, woo. It's like super fun, right? So we go to this club. We're going. Some of us are drunk. A lot of us are not. But like just wild as fuck in the back of this fucking van. And then we get out of the club, we get in that van, and we're driving down the street by the club, and there's this guy dressed like he's in fucking
Mad Max.
Poison meets a tranny, just like yelling at some girl, like emo hair guy, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, and he looked so fucking just lame. And like, we're driving by, Liz stops the van, and I don't know, one of the guys opens the door, and they just grabbed him and dragged him into the fucking van, slammed the door, and Lisk just guns it, and we all go flying back. We're all there's no seats. We all just go flying back. Ah! And this guy's all, ah! And he goes flying back with us. And we're like, who is that? Yeah. And he's like, ah! Ah! And we're just dying laughing. Like, ah! Ah! And everybody's like, ah! Just poking him. And Lisk goes into an intersection, like it was the block behind Hollywood and Vine area or whatever. No, what street is that where Bordner's is? Whatever the block is behind that, he starts doing donuts in the intersection, and we're flying all over the van. And this guy is like, and then he fucking drives right back to where we got him, opens the door, everybody just pushes him out, closes the door, and we drove away. It was crazy.
Technically kidnapping. Allegedly.
I want you to articulate that story at South by Southwest when you lost Dan. And you saw him as the sun's coming up?
It was on that trip when we did all that crazy stuff.
But if you lose Dan and you find him, like when you guys come together, it's like an epic thing, right?
Oh, yeah, me and Dan we're soulmates. So, like, Dan's Han Solo, right? On that trip, and we're raging all night, and we're on 6th Street, right? And we're walking, we lost
This
Dan.
is in Austin.
We couldn't find Dan.
Was that 2009?
Yes.
Yeah, I was there.
It was
that year,
2000. Okay, yes. And we couldn't find him. We're walking down the street. We're all like, just just wasted. And then we're walking by, what is it, the death metal pizza or heavy metal pizza or whatever. And we're walking by it. And then way down the street, we just hear, ah! And we look. He's not looking at anyone. He doesn't know we're there. And he's just going, ah! In the street.
As the sun's coming up, right?
Yeah, just wasted as the sun's coming up. Ah! And we're all, yeah! We all go running over and he looks at us and just goes crazier. It was amazing, man. That happened in real life.
Hey, let's talk about the shop program.
Yes.
In Fullerton.
Let's talk about it.
You and Fabrizio are involved in that.
Yeah,
give the backstory.
We are both
not the whole back, but a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds like river.
Give me a morsel.
Well, we our friend Chris wanted to start a new shop and brought us into it, and we're all partners, and Fabrizio's really cool, and you should come to our store and spend all of your money.
All of it.
Yes. No, but we're a skate and music store.
Half and
half. We have a great vinyl collection. We have skate. We have streetwear. We've
and
got
you guys
all the
are
bases
also
covered.
a live music venue.
Yeah, we have shows. We've
And
had
art
DJs,
shows.
we've had bands, art
Photography shows.
Yeah. We had Bane play at our shop. People were stage diving off like the countertops and stuff. It was tight.
What's the address?
2495 East Chapman in the city of Fullerton. Conveniently located away from the 57 freeway.
I'm going to seek out a skate lesson, a verbal skate lessons from Fabrizio right now.
All right, skate lessons, verbally.
Okay. You're regular footed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so am I. So if you explain it.
Easy question, please.
Okay. So when you put your feet on the board for a 360 kickflip, like where do you put it? Like the right foot is on the tip of the right side of the tail, or you put your foot flat?
Depends.
Depends on the wood.
Depends on the wood. Depends on
how high you're rolling.
How high do you want to
go?
Do you want to go? You know.
How high you are? What?
How high you want to go with that 360?
How high you want to go in the pop?
Oh, gotcha.
And the skateboard.
Gotcha. Yeah.
How you want to pop the board?
Exactly.
Right. So I mean. So I'm right though. Like on your right foot, if you were to go more flat, it would be more. It wouldn't be as high.
If you put it more flat, it would be high because you want to pop.
Okay.
So as soon as you pop, like you do the emotion. Yes,
but if you
like emotion. If you put it like in the sideways, pretty much it's just
barely like and then a flat ground. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. I just wanted to, I wanted some instruction from a professional. That's all.
Hey,
anytime, man. Anytime, call me. Next time.
I'm going to Lake Elsinore.
That's so hard. Dang.
Hey, Roscoe, I have a question. So, like, growing up, being from L.A., watching the movies,
yes,
like the first perspective I had of like Europe was a movie called European Vacation. Mm-hmm. Did you ever watch a movie?
Chevy Chase, right?
Yeah, but did you ever watch a movie that like gave you a perspective of Los Angeles or the U.S. and then you came here and were like, yeah, but like you thought it was that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like growing up before I went to Chicago. Before I went to Chicago, I thought everyone was like at the Weird Science party.
Yeah.
I thought everyone was like Ferris Bueller. Because that takes place in Chicago.
I really wanted New York to be Seinfeld.
You really wanted to. Because it's great humor, right?
I mean, there's a lot of New York that is Seinfeld, and I've been to like the soup spot and the restaurant.
Monk's Cafe,
which is Tom's restaurant.
Tom's, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been to all the spots, and especially on my first trip to New York, I did because I was a big fan of that show.
I love that show.
Which is weird. They would play it on like BBC Three at like 11:30 at night when I was like in high school, and it was no one I knew at school watched it. It was just one of those late night shows I happened to see and became obsessed with, and I still am.
I love that show.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
I really, New York was like awesome. That was like my kind of thing. But being from London, I kind of got tired of that whole vibe.
Yeah.
If I was into that, I would have moved to New York when I moved over here, but I much prefer the pace of life here to that.
Great. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what neighborhood you moved to.
Yeah, I moved to like Los Feliz, and then I lived in Echo Park for a while. So that kind of like Silver Lakey, like around that kind of area. Places. Yeah, I had a couple of places over there. I actually had a house fire.
Yeah.
One of those houses burned down. So that was a solid move there. You don't have to move house.
Insurance?
Yes, thank goodness. We had a Porsche Cayenne, you know, the Cayenne, I don't know how you pronounce it. Drove it home, was absolutely fine, absolutely nothing wrong. Parked it in the driveway underneath the carport, and we've been in the house like 10 minutes, and the engine exploded. Big old full-on explosion.
Wow.
Car set on fire, the car exploded. Carport, garage, bedroom, ceiling, roof.
R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Thank God you're safe.
People die in Porsches all the time. What the hell?
Porsche paid for that shit.
Like
Why don't
crazy.
you fucking make a decent fucking car?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Come on,
Porsche paid for that shit.
Yeah, stop
There you go.
There you go. So,
Get it together, Porsche.
So Roscoe, so how do you feel about Mexican food in Los Angeles?
Well, you know what? As a Brit, as an Englishman, you know we are Indian food obsessed.
Right.
And I've been here for nearly 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I've had to kind of make Mexican my Indian. You know, Indian I would have like every other day, a good solid like 3-4 times a week, like a good Englishman
Lunch
should.
or dinner, right?
Yeah. Lunch or dinner, either way. It's a solid staple of an Englishman's diet. And there's really no good spots here. I mean, I've really, really tried it. And it's surprising. A lot of Americans like don't really know about Indian food or don't really like it.
Right.
And all the restaurants I've been to.
I vomit when I smell it.
See, there you go, right?
Because it's bad.
Well, see, it's not. Because
I was
all
just
the restaurants
to it.
You're not having
Here
it
it's
good.
bad.
You're not
There you
having
go.
it
You
good.
nailed it. You nailed it. Here it's bad.
I went to a place called Taste of India the other night in Huntington Beach somewhere.
Terrible.
A friend of mine. It wasn't. It was actually good.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I liked it. I was just like, but I'd never, I think I'd had Punjab in New York maybe 5 years ago at 4 a.m. and I was like, this is the
Even
best
New
food
York,
alive.
I struggle.
But
it's just-
Even New
Do
York,
you like
I struggle.
spicy food?
I do. You love it? I do like spicy food. But
How do
yeah,
you like Indian food?
well, no, I like it. I do like it. I just never thought about it, and I never tried it.
Uh-huh.
So until last week, my friend Ball Metal was like, hey, you got to try this.
Now you
and then I
love it.
did, and I thought it was great.
But like the amount of times the average, Southern Californian will eat Mexican food,
Yeah.
it's the same frequency for us,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a caller. Hey, you're on the air. Eddie Solis, Los Angeles Nista, Rusco, Chris Lisk, Fabrizio Santos, Ephraim, co-host. What's up?
They hung up.
Thanks a lot. We care
Yeah.
about you too, and
They heard
I
my
want you
name
to
and
know that
What's the
I'm really
number?
hurt.
What's the number? We'll do a jingle.
Yeah, can we call him back?
084551.
800
Wait, can I call him?
800-893-9562.
Dude, can I make a jingle for your show?
Yes, please.
You could come back
That's
next
such a
Monday.
great idea,
Can I
dude.
do that? Yeah. No, I'll make a commercial for program.
Yeah, that'd be great, dude.
All right,
That would
Los
be good,
Angeles
too.
Nista, you're on the air. How are you? Where you
Hello.
calling from?
Yo, from Dominican Republic.
What's up?
Hey.
I'm friends with Ephraim. Is he there?
Yo, what's up? What's up, man? This is me.
Yo, it's Chris.
What's up, Chris? Dude, what up? All the way from the Dominican or the DR.
What do you want to hear?
Amazing.
What do you want to hear, Chris? Want to hear any music?
Fuck yeah. I want to hear some Rusco, man.
Hey.
Rusco from DR.
Hey,
can
thanks,
definitely
man.
do that.
Hopefully one day I'll get down there and play some fucking rad shows.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I cannot wait to check
Can I
it
say that
out.
on the air?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I hope so. I just did. Never mind.
It's good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, dude, you too. Paul told me you guys met up in Chicago.
Paul in Chicago, Strung Out's merch guy. I told you was from Dominican Republic. It was at the show.
Dude,
yeah.
that guy is so
we got, we have a very diverse, interesting group of friends from all over the world. We're pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky.
Man.
We're really lucky.
Well, that's the thread
Thanks
of
for
music,
calling,
right?
man.
It brings these people
I was
together.
surprised in every single city we went. Someone
mind-blowing right
Ephraim
now.
had friends
Dude,
there.
Dominican
mind-blowing.
Everywhere.
What's
Thanks
going
for
on?
calling, man.
Yeah, man, just calling to say hi and keep up the good work, man.
You got it, man.
Thank you for calling.
All right. Thanks, man.
Hey, we had a text request.
Really?
We had a text request?
Someone wants to hear
A sext request for Ephraim?
It sounds like that.
What was it?
They want to hear Pound Cake from Van Halen.
Oh. I can play that. I got that on my phone.
Do you really?
You?
Hold on, let me check. This would be so awesome.
You know what's awesome? How there's a
Pound Cake and
drill.
Roscoe. Perfect.
Amazing.
You got 2 requests.
That's not Van Halen. That's Van Hagar.
All right, play the Van Halen track first, because then maybe I can find something special.
Perfect.
Where is this?
Do we have it?
Oh, Pound Cake?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pass it over here.
Oh, here you go.
Put your volume at 3/4.
Put your volume at
sorry.
3/4.
Yeah, it's all the way up.
Let's just keep playing Van Halen all night.
There you go.
Van Halen and Roscoe only all
Pound
night.
Cake.
Van Halen and Roscoe.
You might have to take the case off the bottom.
Dude, I found this
All right.
footage of
It's playing.
Eddie Van Halen.
Enjoy Van Halen, citizens of the universe.
It's not coming through.
Take the case off the bottom. Just slide it. That's all you got to do. Hold the top, slide the bottom.
Have a good time.
Give it to me.
I don't want to break it.
There.
Daddy.
Yes.
Pound Cake, everybody.
You're a Pound Cake.
Yeah.
For me.
exclusive Rusco track. No one's ever heard this shit before. This is especially for our friend in the Dominican Republic. Exclusive. You heard it here on Los Angeles Nista First.
And so it was said that the herb be provided for I and I. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's so convenient. Just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's so convenient. Just so let it be. Whoa, herb smoke, keep I sane, take my pain, stop my grain, so much I gain, so I blame. I stain, I might bring the right strain to my brain, fi drop lightning like I wait. Come and they up on the lava ground, and if them soft like a guava, them can't come round this part of town. Then you know the heart alone, I could have sparked it faltered down. Revival, hallelujah, it's hard up, no reprisal. Did the lucha in water down the party, no. But the enemy God is strong. This is not for marijuana, son. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's so convenient. Just so let it be. This is not marijuana music. Just a message from the ones that use it. Don't abuse it. Just a mind that fertile. Bring forth something that worthwhile. Know your worth, child. I know officer alive. Put a look in my eyes and see what I prophesize. My mind forever occupies. Thoughts of all my talk a spice amongst us. Trouble from a trouble day. Then my chalice I go bubbly. Drop in a one load then double it. Power day in a me garden strong. This is not a marijuana song. Cause they don't want you to know marijuana. It's so free. Just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's so free. Just so let it be. They don't want you to know marijuana. It's so free. Just so let it be. So me say, listen up, the truth is to be told. Open your eyes, there's beauty to behold. What is the new if you consider the old? Again the world and you consider your soul. What is the cloud if you understand the lineage? Who is the king if you consider the lineage? You know it's him, so no hunting you deny him. Is it freestyle if I consider the...
All right, that's the 91st episode of Los Angeles Nista. Big thanks to my co-host Ephraim Schulz, Fabrizio Santos,
the host, Eddie
photographer Adam Murray, Rusco,
yeah,
Chris Lisk.
Hi.
Everyone, anyone, we're out of here. You want to say anything?
Taco time, right?
It's taco time.
Let's do
this. Taco.
Steven Steakhouse time.
I'm going to Steven Steakhouse to enjoy a tiramisu.
Conveniently located near the Commerce Casino
That's a wrap.
in the city of
Thank
Commerce,
you.
California.
Wait, is that where it is?